What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about Gandalf, or I guess you could say Lord of the Rings in general, that sort of content from Multiverses. Can we expect it? Well, there's a tiny bit of news and we got to stretch this a little bit, but you'll see what we mean. You'll see what we mean as the video goes along. So if you've been following Multiverses, there's a good chance that you've seen or at least heard of one of the earliest actual leaks for Multiverses, which was Gandalf. And there's a few images. I can't show them because then this video will get taken down. But the images, one of them was Gandalf on the actual character select screen. And then there's one or two images of Gandalf on an actual stage, which was a Lord of the Rings stage, if my memory serves correctly. So at one point, there was Lord of the Rings content planned for Multiverses. So again, with Gandalf being one of the earliest leaked or data mined characters, you know, and he was even on the big March data mine from last year. We're almost coming up on a year from that. That's kind of nuts. But with him being on data mines even back from March, a year ago, I mean, what happened to him? Where did he go? Where did all that not Game of Thrones, but where did all the Lord of the Rings content go? Well, if we go back to last August now, Embracer Group basically entered into an agreement to acquire the IP rights to Lord of the Rings, which means, well, Warner Brothers has nothing to do. They have no say in the Lord of the Rings franchise anymore. So if Gandalf or anything Lord of the Rings related were to be in Multiverses, well, now that has to pretty much be negotiated to get into the game. So player first games can't just go ahead and just slap Gandalf into the game all of a sudden because, well, Warner Brothers doesn't own that. So yeah, that's kind of a big no-no. You can't use something without somebody else's permission, right? So there's no agreement for it as of right now that we know of. So with Embracer Group, once they acquired Middle-earth Enterprises, which is the one that owns the vast IP catalog and worldwide rights for things like motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, all sorts of other things. So the bottom line, if Warner Brothers wanted to put anything Game of Thrones related, why do I keep saying Game of Thrones? If they wanted to put anything Lord of the Rings related into Multiverses, they would need to strike a deal. Well, something interesting happened. Warner Brothers and this Embracer Group actually kind of entered into an agreement for Lord of the Rings on the film side of things. So Warner Brother Pictures is going to be helping revamping the Lord of the Rings film franchise. So the takeaway here, again, this is only for film rights, This has nothing to do with video games. But I guess the takeaway is, since Warner Brothers' name is once again around the Lord of the Rings IP, again, they don't own it, but it's around it again, who's to say that they don't try to maybe license Gandalf or somebody or something from Lord of the Rings, try to put that into Multiverses? It's a possibility, but again, that would have to be its own separate deal. So again, Warner Brothers is just around Lord of the Rings again, which is kind of cool, but I believe it was Embracer Group that had this quote here where they said, following our recent acquisition of Middle-earth Enterprises, we're thrilled to embark on this new collaborative journey with New Line Cinema and Warner Bros. Pictures. So if they're thrilled for that, if they're thrilled to be working with Warner Brothers Pictures, who's to say that they wouldn't be thrilled to be working with Warner Brothers Game Studios or somebody like Player First Games who's kind of related in a way to Warner Brothers, right? I mean, Player First Games is not owned by WB at all. Player First Games is its own little entity, we'll say. So it's possible. But again, the news is Warner Brothers is once again around Lord of the Rings on the film side of things. So could that lead to something down the road for Multiverses? Maybe. We'll have to see how that plays out. But I thought this was at least a little interesting, so I wanted to make a quick video on that. So anybody that still has hope for Gandalf or anything Lord of the Rings related, I guess keep holding out hope because, hey, you never know. You never know what could happen. Something crazy might happen. But either way, that is it for this little video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.